what coaches are looking for, what are some of the requirements right off the bat that you need to be thinking about, and it's never too early. Okay, it's never too early to have all those things in mind. So,
thanks, Coach. My name's Tommy Canale. I'm a college scout. I've been an athletic director, head men's basketball coach, among other things, at the junior college level for a long time. I've been doing scout work now for the last 5 and 6 years. There's a few phases of recruiting, ladies. The first phase is identification and recognition. Your talent as an athlete, no matter what sport it is, will get you to the first phase, which is identified by somebody, whether it's a scout, whether it's by a coach. But more importantly than that, after you've been identified, everything stops right there, because the next thing I ask a coach, and the thing a college coach will ask me is GPA. 3.2 GPA unweighted in core classes, which is math, English, history, science, humanities, and a foreign language. If you don't take one, please take one. What's that GPA? If it's not 3.2 or higher, you're in what we call the 5 Mile Club. A list of names that are 5 miles long that have talent to play in college, but don't have grades to play. Your grades will shut you down and close doors quicker than you can open them, no matter how good your kids I've seen over the years that had talent to play at some of the highest level in NCAA and have gone to some of the lower levels and some not at all because their GPAs were not good enough. Test scores are just as important. When I talk to a student athlete and I talk to somebody who has talent to play and I say, what's your ACT or SAT score? And they say, well, you know, I really didn't study for it the first time, I'm going to retake it. Right away my mind goes, you're not serious about playing in college. Because if you were, you'd have studied for it the first time. You'd have taken the prep classes seriously. You'd have studied. You'd have done your due diligence to make sure that you did everything you could to get the highest possible score. And if you feel like you can get better, then we're retaking it to get a higher score, not retaking it because, well, I really didn't study. And I relay that to a coach. Whatever I know about a person, I'm relating to a coach. I will not fib. I'm going to tell them the truth, exactly what I know about you as a person. Because they need to know what kind of person they may be potentially recruiting. Do you work hard for your coach? I use this scenario in all sports. It's the last second, coaches call a timeout and put the ball in your hands and you're down 1. And coach says, get fouled or score so we can win. Are you going to give your coach everything you can to either get fouled or win the game? Probably, right? Are you going to give her that same effort at home when it's time to study for a test? Are you going to give that same last second effort to her in a classroom when you're with an instructor that maybe you don't relate to and you don't understand and you might fall asleep on? Or better yet, skip the class. That's telling your coach and your teammates that A, you're not dependable, and B, you're not loyal enough to the program because you don't want to sacrifice yourself and maybe sacrifice some friends' time or whatever it is to make sure that your GPAs are the utmost important. Because that's where it's at. It'll shut down the doors quicker than you can open. The next thing I want to talk to you guys about is we've talked about phase 1 of recruiting, which is identification and recognition. The second phase is evaluation. Somebody will come evaluate you, whether it's a scout or whether it's a college coach. If you've not been evaluated, ladies, you are not being recruited. Coaches will send, and the university will send form letters to your house all day long. They're not recruiting you, they haven't evaluated you. All they've done is identify you. And if you don't get evaluated, you're not being recruited. So you get evaluated and then get to phase 3 and 4, which is the big time recruiting and comparison and offer phase, you're at a standstill with everybody else. So if you really want to play college ball and you really want to play at the next level, you have to work on your game. You have to have the talent to play first. Grades will shut it down. The talent will get you identified. The GPA will shut it down quicker. I graduated from a high school here in Vegas. I've been all around this country, and I can't tell you how many kids I've come across and I go, oh, I like that person. They got some talent. I have a coach in mind, maybe that will fit. And I go to the coach, and coach goes, 2.4 GPA, 17 weeks. Probably not even going to call coach back to see if the GPA went up. Pretty much just crossed it right off the list because there's so many kids to see. The last thing I'm going to leave you with is 4.5% of those that play high school athletics get to play in college. 4.5. So are you one of, if not the best player on your team, in your conference, in your league, in this city? 4.5. Are you open-minded to go anywhere in the United States to play for any coach who may be interested in you, regardless of level where it's at? Division 1, 2, and 3, NAIA, or junior college, whether it's here in Nevada, whether it's in Maine, Florida, New York, Ohio, Tennessee, Illinois, Michigan, Alaska. Are you open-minded? If a coach is interested in you, my thing to families is, why aren't you interested in them? Because you're afraid to leave home? Because you don't want to go that far from mom and dad? Well, then you're not in the 4.5% of playing college. As a scout, well, you want me to tell a coach in Ohio that's interested in you, no. Because you don't want to go that far, they'll tell their friends, and pretty soon your recruiting will be to no. So if you want to play in college, talent, get you identified, then forget about it. GPA, test scores, open mind, willing to play anywhere. It's that important. You're competing for a college scholarship in the classroom more than you are in basketball. The person in front of you, behind you, left, right in the classroom is who you're competing against. Is your GPA better than theirs? If not, that's your competition. Questions?
2 phases. Identify, well, more than one phase, but identify an evaluation phase in addition to academics. We have a couple of seniors, going to be seniors here, who obviously probably aren't in either identify or evaluate. And obviously this is the live look period that is just ending or whatnot. How can those seniors, kind of get to those 2 phases this late in their playing career?
Well, it's a good question because you have something going for you being that you're in women's basketball. If you were in boys basketball and you were going into your senior year and you weren't identified, I would tell you from my standpoint, your chance of getting a scholarship are very, very slim. Coaches are pretty much finishing up their 2016 classes and working on 17s, 18s, and 19s. So you need something, a miracle to happen. On the women's side, it's more open. There's more coaches still looking for 16s. But to get identified, if you have the GPA, just by sending emails and videos to coaches isn't going to get it done. Because not only are you doing it, but so is 1,000 other kids. As a former junior college coach, I can tell you every single day, I would get, this is between mail, DVD sent to me, and email sent to me, I would get an average of about 200 a day. It's impossible to go through them all. There's that many kids trying to get you to take a look at it. Some were sending them to me every week. It was the same kid over and over and over. Eventually, maybe I might take a look after seeing it about 7, 8 times, but all right, let's take a look at it. And I can tell you, very rarely did I take somebody that either emailed me or mailed me their stuff. I want to know from a legitimate source, who can I trust? I was using this service that I work for now with Recruiter because I trust them, because every time I got a kid from them, it was a quality kid that had great character, never gave me problems off the court, never gave me problems in the classroom. So to answer this question about being identified, you need to get somebody to help you. Whether it's not a recruiter, stay away from recruiters. They're cash cows that just want to build you a website and take your money. You want somebody that's either a coach that can help you, your coach can maybe have some contacts with some coaches they can get you in direct contact with that they can help you with, or you want to get with a scout that's going to contact coaches on your behalf and get the ball rolling for you. Okay?
Is that a scout like an NCSA or B-Recruit?
NCSA is a recruiter.
Oh, they're a recruiter.
Yeah, recruiter's the difference between a recruiter and a scout. A recruiter is going to build you a profile. They're going to give you a place to put all your stuff. They're going to give you some information. You'll be able to see who looked at your site. And they're going to give you emails to do it on your own. A scout, unlike a recruiter, will come out and actually physically look at you and go, watch you play, going yes, no, or maybe. Then we verify transcripts. Then we continue to come out about once every 6 weeks during the season, usually 2 or 3 times during the season, and see, are you developing? You write scout reports out, you give one to your coach, and you give one to your family. Usually within a week after we see you, so you can see what we're seeing as scouts and what we're looking at. And those scouts go out to our coaches. When we send leads out to our coaches, our scout reports go with them. So it's a little bit different. We're more hands-on. We contact coaches on your behalf and get the ball rolling. And then I'm not the one that's gonna be playing for them, you are, so then we turn it over to you and your family, let you guys start building a reputation with the coaches, and then we start working with you on how to get visits, work the offers, are you getting lowball, is it a good offer, is it a bad offer? We work with everything with you from A to Z. We kind of walk you through the process.
All right. Is there a fee for your services?
Yes, there is. There's a one-time fee of $1,500. It goes from the time you sign up till 6 months after your high school graduation. That way, if you get to a school, coach leaves, you don't like it, you go to a junior college, whatever the scenario is, we work with you to get you to a four-year school. Okay? The next thing I always get is, you can't pay it all at once, there's financing, yes there is, but the bottom line from $1,500 goes up, depending on what financing option you choose. The other question I always get is, in comparison to $1,500, how do we compare against other scouting organizations? Because there's only 3 of us. The other big one is National Scouting Report, which is NSR. They do the exact same thing that we do. I used to be with NSR. Their price point's $3,400. We're at $1,500. The other one is Woods Recruiting, but they based out of Cleveland, Ohio, and only take kids out of the Midwest. So they don't deal nationwide. So nationwide, you have us or NSR for a scout. With that same aspect about the fee on it, here's another question I always get. Well, it's a lot of money. Yes, it is. I get it. It's a lot of money. $1,500 to me is a lot of money. I don't know what it is to you. To me, that's a lot of money. So, in my aspect is I'm looking at college scholarships. Right now, an average school, 4-year school, is going to cost you right around $40,000 a year. Books, tuition, fees, housing, food, you look at about $40,000. If you go 4 years, that's $160,000. Women's basketball is one of the highest scholarship sports. What I mean by that is coaches will offer you somewhere between 70 and 100% scholarships. Where if you're a baseball player or a football player, that scholarship number is not as high. And you have to have the academics on the back end to build some more. So you're talking $160,000 to go to school, and then $1,500 can get you maybe all of it paid for, or possibly $100,000 or maybe $120,000 of it paid. Pretty good investment. We have a 95% success rate of getting you a minimum of 50% of your scholarship paid for. Questions I always get is, how can you get 95? Because we won't take anybody. Some place will take anybody you want to pay them, they'll take you. We will only take those that we're 95% sure we can get you an offer and get you a scholarship. If I send a kid into my office and you don't get a scholarship, I won't be doing this. And I've been doing it a while. I know I've broken some kids' dreams and hearts by telling them, sorry, I can't help you. Just because I know I can't give them a scholarship. I have to be certain that I have a really good opportunity to get you a scholarship. Once we take a kid, the reasons you don't get a scholarship, you quit playing sport, you get injured, boyfriend or girlfriend, all of a sudden you don't want to leave home because I don't want to leave the love of my life. I hear that a lot. The other one is you get offers from all over the country and you turn them down because all of a sudden now you don't want to go far away from home. That one happens. Last one, alcohol, drugs, law/social media. Killing kids. If you become part of Recruit Look, you have to friend me on every single social media site you have so we can monitor it. And if we see anything on that we think is even remotely close, we usually don't contact you, we contact your parents saying, please have me get this off ASAP. Some stuff you go, I don't see any problem with it. It depends on how it's portrayed, it's how it's put on. Social media is a lot like throwing a pass in basketball. Especially on a one-handed pass, you can't bring a one-handed pass back. Two-handed pass, you can't. But you let a ball go, you can't bring it back. You hit send, it's gone. It's already out there. By the time you try and get it done and get it off of there, how many people have seen it? How many people have already pushed it somewhere else? Volleyball player from Las Vegas, a 2015, last fall, had 5 offers on the table and blew it with one night of social media on Snapchat. Gone. No matter what I tried to tell those coaches, it didn't matter. It was out, and I thought, well, these coaches are on the Midwest East Coast, they probably won't find this quick enough. We'll get it off there, and we'll do some damage control. My phone was ringing that night. Lost all of it. 1 night.
Two more quick questions.
Sure.
When should we contact a scout like you? You know, we have a lot of freshmen. Is that too early? And the second part is the exposure clinics or tournaments. How valuable are those?
Let's go to the first question. We start the ideal situation for us to get you the best exposure is starting you this summer before you go into your freshman year of high school. If you have the talent. If you have grades from the 8th grade that we can start looking at, we want to start as early as then because it's an easy transition because we do so much. Even though we can start kids late, there's a lot of stuff that we do that we can't do because we're starting too late. And there's other stuff that maybe we can go back and try. So we typically, the best scenario is starting you as a freshman. That's not early. I know I get from families that, well, she's only going to be a freshman. According to college coaches, you're already a freshman, not just a freshman. You're already a freshman, they're already looking. So that's the answer to the first question. Exposure camps, tournaments. Depends on which ones. There's some out there that are strictly out to make as much money as they can. They don't care anything about you or getting you exposure. They'll put on their website that they're going to have 20 coaches and you go there and they have 2. Or they go and say you're going to get all this and you become number 462 of 700 kids and they don't know what you did. So that's the other thing we do is we start with recommendations. We always ask families if you're interested in sending your son or daughter to a clinic or a camp, let us know first and if we don't know what it is, we'll have our department at our office do some research on it and find out is this a legitimate camp. We only want you to go to exposure camps and clinics that either are going to be one of two things, that are turned into a college visit from a school. If you're going to a college, we want to make sure that we turn that into a visit for you. So there's something else added to it. Because if you're going to turn it into a visit, a coach isn't going to give you a visit and have you come to a camp. They're going to watch you. That gives you some more and more one-on-one attention. The other thing we want to make sure is that if it's not going to be a visit, you're going to a clinic, we want to make sure that you're getting specialized attention. And if we can't get that guaranteed, we normally tell you you're on your own if you go, we don't recommend it. Okay? Other questions? Coach? Anything from the ladies? No? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate
Appreciate
it.
it.
No problem.
I have your card. Thanks a lot.
Sure.